before I start, I'm going to tell how Guillermo del Toro changed my life story really fast. So after 15 attempts, finally I'm invited to pitch to him at his house. Back then he had two houses, one with his family and one with all his crazy, amazing collection of beautiful art. So we go to that house. It's August in LA. It's super hot. They had told me you have 30 minutes to pitch on your movie. The movie was Book of Life. So we go to his house, and he is incredible. He gives us a tour of the house, and it's incredible. We go outside because there's so much stuff in the house, we couldn't even pitch inside the house. So we're in the pool, August in LA. He's a big guy, I'm a big guy. We're drenched already. And I've been practicing, right? So I called to my ancestors all over Mexico, give me the strength to do the greatest pitch of all time. And before I can open my mouth, he goes, Gordo, 5 minutes. So he cut down my 30-minute pitch to 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm okay, I can adapt. So again, I summon the ancestors to come through me, right? Across the border with no visas, come into my body. And I kid you not, the moment I open my mouth, our people betray me. And the house next door, there's 3 leaf blower guys. And it was almost like they were waiting. And when I opened my mouth, they went, órale, güey. So this wave of sound hits. And I yell at Guillermo, Guillermo, should we wait till they finish? And he stares at me with his beautiful blue eyes and he goes, Gordo, 4 minutes. So I pitch him the worst pitch of all time. We go back in his house and I apologize to him. I'm like, I'm sorry, the pitch wasn't very good. And he goes, Gordo, that was the shittiest pitch I've ever seen. So, and I'm drenched. I peed my pants because I was so nervous. And I stand up and he goes, sit down, Gordo. And he goes, of course, I have a family. I've seen your cartoons. I've seen your stuff. I know how you see Mexico. I know how much you love our culture. Of course, I'm going to produce your movie. So I stood up and he stood up and we hugged and our liquids combined. I like to believe DNA exchanged at that point. And then he goes, Gordo, did you write a script? So I run to my car, I open the trunk, I take out the script. We'd gone to a wedding the night before. There was a Mexican wedding and they gave tequila as parting gifts. Tequila bottle broke, the script is drenched in tequila. So I'm running with this like wet toilet paper script, blowing on it, and I hand it to him and he grabs it with his beautiful meaty hands and he holds it up like a doctor looking at a baby and he smells it and he goes, Gordo, this is a good script. So, true story. So, thank you, cinema gods, for El Maestro Guillermo del Toro. We have a business full of people who appreciate the movies, but Guillermo del Toro is actually in love with them. And the movies, they actually love him back. You see this love affair splash into decades of cinema, everything from Kronos, Devil's Backbone, Blade 2, Hellboy 1 and 2, Pan's Labyrinth, Pacific Rim, The Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley, and soon to join the upcoming fucking masterpiece, Pinocchio. And not only does Guillermo love movies, but he loves movie makers. I don't know of any established director like him who has put so much of his personal time, endless effort, and love into producing so many first-time directors, such as J.A. Bayona with The Orphanage, Andy Muschietti with Mama, Peter Ramsey with Rise of the Guardians, and myself with The Book of Life. To mentor a new generation and continue to make his own unique and brilliantly personal films is an unmatched legacy. And after all that, all those magnificent films, winning Oscars, he's still the kindest, most noble, charming, generous, and sweetest man on the planet. I think you all know that Maestro del Toro is the best. But let's look at why. It gives me endless pleasure to present Guillermo del Toro with this year's Career Achievement Award.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Hey! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. You know, I know we have the raffle, so I'll be brief. and we gotta go home. We gotta go home. But, you know, I want you all to know a few things that you don't know about me and about yourselves. Nobody in this room is alone. Nobody. We do exist together, here and out there in the field. Many of you I've known because you're here first time from me from a phone call to tell you not to give up, or a letter to support your movie, or a moment in which you invite me to your editing room and that's where we meet, you know. And I've always felt that kinship with the industry. And when we arrived here in the 90s, it was absolutely brutal. You know, I did my first movie at 28, Kronos, and I didn't do the next one for more than 4 years, Mimic. Did it have anything to do with being Latin? A little. And have I ever felt the glass ceiling? Many, many, many times, in many, many rooms. Second movie I do is Mimic, is the Weinsteins. I survive them, and then my father gets kidnapped in 1998. For 72 days he's kept, and I have to leave Mexico. I never thought I would have a career in American movies. I wanted to make middle-class fantasies in Mexico, in the barrios of my city, with international mids reduced to a little house in the corner of Guadalajara. I couldn't. I came here. And I think that from that movie to the next, for some reason, another almost 5 years. Did it have anything to do with being Latin? Maybe a little. I have written or co-written and developed 34 screenplays. I've made 12 movies, which means for 20 years, they have told me to stay in my place. And I've said, fuck you. And I have made it a point of the 12 films I produce in Spanish, yes, 7 have been first-time directors. And that's extremely important. Now there's another period later on where I lose another 4 years and so forth. In total, in 30 years of career, I've been inactive 15 years. 15 years. Does it have anything to do with me being Latin? A little. But you know what? The thing is, we have to see where we are. You want to hear what I've done in the past? Buy me a fucking beer. I'll tell you. But what we're doing now, where we are, what I'm doing here, and what you are doing here is very important. Do you think it is a coincidence that this is the year where our skin is too dark to play an elf? Or our accent is wrong to play Marilyn? Or a director of worldwide renown is ambitious and he's faulted for it? It is no a fucking coincidence, because we're coming. We're here. And they feel it. When I say they, it's those that choose to see us as all the same. And we're Panamanian, Ecuadorian, Cuban, Mexican. And you know what? For those motherfuckers, we should be the same. We should be a single unit, all of us, a single person, and show them what we can do. All of my life, people told me the things I should not tackle. They told me what ambitions I should have. As a good Latin filmmaker, I was supposed to make little melodramas or dramas confined to a certain thematic, and that's it. And I said, fuck it. I want to do a giant robot movie. I want to do a noir. I want to do a fantasy where I mix it with politics. I want to do an incredibly ambitious, goddamn stop-motion movie. Everything I wanted to do, and I've done it. I've done it. It takes a lot of time. So let's talk about a little thing called animation and why is it important to us. There are incredibly good animators in Latin America. Incredible. You can go to Argentina, Brazil, Chile, and Mexico. And in every country, there is a great group of young people making animation. And it is very important to also remember that one of the fathers of stop motion was Marcel Delgado, who was what? Mexican? Yes, he was Mexican. How about them apples, motherfuckers? You know? So, I believe in animation as a form that allows young people in Latin America to express themselves against power without government support, to talk about things that are important to them. I have active a scholarship, and now we're about to send the 10th person to Paris to study animation, and all expenses paid, because I believe one thing, and this is very important for all of you. If you change one life, you change a generation. One life changes a generation. That's why we are here. We are here to do that. We are here to do that for them, because we're gonna go away, all of us. And I'm not talking about the raffle. I'm talking about we're all gonna go away, not to Acapulco or whatever the fuck that is. You know, we will pass, and what we do for the next generation stays. That's all that stays, and that's all that is important. And we have to keep our ambitions. We Latins, we are like trees. We have great fucking roots, but our branches extend to the sky. We reach for the highest. We should be ambitious. We should be fierce, and we should be disobedient of the things they tell us we cannot be or we cannot do. So this year, with Pinocchio, I didn't say to just do a great animated movie. I wanted to make one of the greatest animated movies. And I did it, and the first movement we did is take part of it, create a workshop in Guadalajara, Mexico, and have it animated by Mexican animators. And I think the rules of representation are very simple. There are very few. The first one is don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up, because when you go out to bat, you're representing everybody. So when you don't fuck it up, somebody else can do it. The second one, pass it on. As much as you can. It's never easy. This industry will break your heart over and over and over again. But this, as Hyman Roth says in The Godfather, this is the profession we chose. So here we are. And I think the third one is to know what I said in the beginning. None of us is alone. None of us is alone. We have each other, and we are one. And when we finally level the field, when we don't want to be masters, we don't want to be slaves. When we finally get the same opportunities and we are producing work that is world-class, and we do it over and over again, they will have to wonder, did it have anything to do with being Latin? A little, motherfuckers. Thank you.